Jane, I had asked you to play that this morning, but I forgot how beautiful it was, and it made me cry. Thank you. Hello and welcome to our service. We are the Rogue Valley Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, or RVUUF for short, here in Ashland. My name is Dolores Nims, and I am part of RVUUF because I love these people. They are good people. I love the values and mission of RVUUF. For 22 years, I have journeyed with these people. There have been hard times, there have been good times, but there's never been boring times. These people have empowered me and helped me grow. Together, we have been a force for good in the broader community. We are so happy to welcome you to our service, both online and in person. We want to especially thank the members of the stream team who are helping make this online service happen, and the members of the neighborhood team who welcome the online congregation. If you are a newcomer, we invite you to sign up for our mailing list on rvuf.org. You will receive a weekly email that gives you all the information you need to make. You need to make your decision about whether or not you want to join us on Sunday morning on site or online. You will also learn about the other great things going on here at RVUUF. We are so glad to have you with us for this service, and we invite you to join us in our mission, embracing diversity, empowering connection, and engaging in the work. We begin each service by acknowledging that our building is built on the land that began as the home of the Cow Creek, Umpqua, Tacoma, Shasta, and Letgawa people. We remind ourselves that Indigenous people are part of our communities and continue to experience the effects of colonization. We are committed to fighting for the worth and dignity of Indigenous people, both in our community and around the world. We are also committed to work for a world in which the lives, works, bodies, dreams, and leadership of Black people are honored and respected. We do all this by putting our words, values, and principles into action every day for justice and the common good. These services are part of that work. Welcome. And thank you for being with us. This morning, I have 3 announcements. Lots going on here. First, I want to invite any of you who are curious about meditation to check out the meditation group. We meet every Thursday under the balcony from 9 to 10:30. Secondly, the Social Justice and Action Committee is meeting in the conference room today at 12 noon. If you are interested in social justice, please join us. Thirdly, Shanique is conducting her improv training under the balcony today at 12:15, and that is a lot of fun. So next, we light our candles. Sue, we need you up here. You have amateurs, but we are doing our best here. So sorry. The second time is always better for me. It's my lucky number. So anyway, we light our chalice. We light our chalice, symbol of Unitarian Universalism, with these words from the Buddha. Thousands of candles can be lighted from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared.
Please join me in singing our opening song today. It's in your gray hymnal, number 352. I heard recently at choir practice that this is a new tune to this congregation, so Jane is going to play it all the way through for you so you know what it sounds like. It's very pretty.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Roger Howe, and I'm accompanied by Pat Burkhart. We represent the Anti-Racism Study Group in lighting a candle today. I thought seriously about reading a poem this morning, but I've become aware of discomfort among some members of this community about the message of the Anti-Racism Study Group. I think we may have a language problem. When we talk about the white supremacy culture in the United States, or about institutional racism, and those are both the same thing, by the way, we're not talking about bad people doing bad things, but about what lies under our culture, our ethos, the operating system of our country, if you will. It is as invisible to us as the air we breathe, at least on a clear day. This culture of white privilege, which is another name for the same thing, by the way, is something that most of us are not aware of on a daily basis because it doesn't cause us any particular discomfort. In the Anti-Racism Study Group, we are gradually awakening to the multiple privileges and biases we have acquired by being part of this culture. Awakening to hidden privileges that benefit some, but not all, is a hard lesson. We find ourselves participating in an unfair system despite our desire not to do so. I hope these few words help.
It has become our practice to light a candle each week for peace. We take this moment to call to mind our commitment to peace of mind, peace in our homes, peace in our communities, and peace in the world. Today's words are from the Dhammapada, which is a collection of sayings of the Buddha in poetry. Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. Better than 1,000 hollow verses is one verse that brings peace. Better than 100 hollow lines is one line of law that brings peace. It is better to conquer yourself than to win 1,000 battles. Then the victory is yours.
My name is Janet Boja, and I have to say, I backed into Buddhism. As many of us have experienced in our lives, early in my life when I went through pain and loss, I read a lot, and I tried to find answers to how to get through. And I read psychology, and I did find ways to cope. And as I aged, I found that these secrets that I had found had actually been discovered centuries ago by a man named Gautama. And the Buddha, when I found the Buddhist path, I thought I found my home. And 700 years ago, Rumi, the great poet, also found these answers. And one of my main answers and my path is to actually let my feelings in and to really feel what I'm feeling and not push that off. And so I'm going to read Rumi's poem, The Guest House. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of the furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
So this time I am going to have you stand, please, as you're able. We're going to do something that I taught a couple of months ago, maybe 3. You might remember it, called I Will Be Gentle with Myself. This actually involves what's called hand yoga. And there are certain things that you do with your hands that actually improve the experience. So the lines are, I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe. I am a child of the universe. Being born each moment. Being born each moment. That's the whole song. And now we're going to do the hand movements. So here, I'll stand up here so you can see better. So the first one, you cup your hands, and this is actually to reassure yourself and to keep stress from you. And so here you will say, I will be gentle with myself. I will be gentle with myself. You rotate your hands and cover your heart for heart health. I will love myself. I will love myself. So I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. And now I am a child of the universe. And you open your hands at universe, being born each moment. Each moment, right? And you can bring your hands down right in front of you so you're not smacking your neck. Okay, so now we're going to start. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. And for those of you who like to sing harmonies, you can go up a third or a fifth. I'll go up a third for you as you go up. Ready? And I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment. One more time. I will be gentle with myself. I will love myself. I am a child of the universe, being born each moment.
Hi, my name is Wendy Eppinger. If I didn't have my Buddhist practice, I would not have experienced this talk that I really loved. Finding true refuge in this living, dying world. This is a talk that Tara Brock gave on April 13th, 2023 on YouTube. She is an American psychologist, author, and proponent of Buddhist meditation. She is a guiding teacher and founder of the Insight Meditation community of Washington, D.C. So, here is the start of her talk. So what I am learning about aging, and part of it is that loss and heartbreak is real, and that the more we let our hearts break open and accept loss and aging and the dying of this body and mind, the more we see that we're something more. We see a sense of that experience, that ineffable spirit, that timeless love. So friends, realizing that this is something more than what we are beyond the ego self is the true refuge that I speak of. It is the true refuge in this living, dying world. It's realizing that belonging to a loving field of awareness, a belonging to that which is sacred, and it brings a peace beyond all understanding. I sometimes reflect, and you might do this too, I kind of ask myself, well, if it's my last conscious moment, what would most matter? And what I always come back to is the sense of being able to let go into love and trust that being into loving awareness, just realizing that loving awareness is home. And my sense is that we all have a longing for this, to feel held, to feel a sense of merging, of dissolving into something larger, into a larger loving presence. The realization of that loving presence gets blocked if we think all we are is a separate entity, and if we think that something bad is happening, then death becomes the enemy. And it's an enemy rather than that really a natural part of life that happens to every form that's ever existed. Every human, every fish, every tree, every insect, just an inevitable part of existence. So what we're talking about is how to find refuge in this living, dying world, and the invitation on the spiritual path is to stop managing so much, and instead be open into the mystery that's here. And now she has a quote from Pema Chodron. Things are always in transition. If we could only realize it, the off-center in-between state is an ideal situation, a situation in which we don't get caught and we can open our hearts and minds beyond limit. It's a very tender, non-aggressive, open-ended state of affairs to stay with that shakiness, to stay with that broken heart, to stay with a rumbling stomach, with a feeling of hopelessness and wanting to get revenge. That is the path of true awakening. We can learn to relax with groundlessness. It's really training to die in the moment, letting go of what we're holding on to, and just rest with what's here. And it's training to die when our bodies are ready to pass on, to let go into that groundlessness. So practicing dying daily means letting go. And Tara continues. I want to explore one more pathway to refuge in homecoming, and this is the pathway of intentionally turning toward love. So love is an expression of our essence, an expression of the light, and there are many flavors. It's natural that when we turn toward love, it has a kind of dualistic frame, often reflecting from the perception of being a self-loving, another person, or being loved. But here's the thing. The power of love is when we arouse that kind of reflection of loving someone or feeling love. It opens our heart in a way that dissolves the boundary of self and other. It reconnects us to our true belonging, to that sense of a child coming home, to oneness. With these talks of finding refuge in this living, dying world, I just invite you to come into stillness. Take a few long breaths. See if you can feel the breath of your heart. You might have a smile in your mouth, and just sense that you can smile into your heart. And with each out breath, kind of letting go of any tension. This is a knowing that is the deepest truth of who you are. Let go into the clear light. Trust it. Merge with it. It is your own true nature. It is never too late to recognize the clear light. So, dear ones, thank you for your beautiful attention and presence. May we remember together, we're not humans trying to awaken on a spiritual path. We are that light of loving, and it's never too late to relax and remember and come home to what's always been already here. Bless you, love you, be well.
Hello, I'm Teresa, and I'm here to share a bit about my story on how I found Buddhism and how it changed me. Every life encounters suffering, of course, and my life is not an exception. I will break down suffering to two varieties: the macro, the dramatic and tragic, and the everyday run-of-the-mill, the micro kind. While working as a peds charge nurse at the University of Kansas Medical Center, on a cancer and an orthopedic ward in pediatric ICU, I was exposed to tragic pain and suffering of children and their families every shift. The cries from children and their mothers and fathers and the toll on the staff was tremendous. At that time, there was no processing of our experience. Then, a few years later, it was my turn to experience the loss of a child. Our daughter, Jessie Jane, diagnosed with serious heart defect, cried out one night, and I knew this precious life was dying. At 13 months, 13 pounds. She was pronounced dead at Parkland Hospital in Dallas, Texas, where John, my husband, was a pediatric resident. And then there is the micro kind, the plain old dissatisfaction or dis-ease, losing passwords, cell phones, keys, flat tires, people not acting as I think they should, the weather, vacations ending too soon. And did I mention the weather? I was curious, how does one live well with pain and suffering and its accompanying body tension that mental and emotional stress bring? Neither my Bible verses memorized in Sunday school or attendance of the exciting Billy Graham events or explorations of various churches of all kinds or doing good works, even doing good works, such as forming a heart-to-heart support group for families with children with heart defects in Dallas, or putting together a Compassionate Friends group in Klamath Falls for families whose children who died. My questions about pain and suffering remained. My study with yoga and my body-mind acupressure practice and Qigong seemed closer to engaging the body and mind connection. Yet I still felt an urge to continue searching. So when an invitation to attend a Vipassana Buddhist 10-day silent retreat, I didn't hesitate. For me, this would not be an intellectual exercise, but an experiential process. This was a 10-day silent retreat with 10 hours a day meditating. We focus on the breath and the body sensations, instructed to be aware every moment, equanimous. Oh my. The first 5 days, that's 50 hours, was insane. The aches and pains of the physical act of sitting was exacerbated by all the mental thought distortions. These thought distortions fueled and brought to the surface emotions, such as grief, shame, fear, anger, fear. I wanted out of there. It was really too much. But looking back, to me, this represented the Buddha's first noble truth: suffering exists. Or as Martha and the Vandellas said, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. No shopping, no TV, no reading, no journaling, no coffee, no phone, no escape. So I decided I stayed on the cushion, coming back to the present moment of the body sensations and the breath, 10 hours a day. By day 6, I was beginning to break out of this prison of the mind, and I'll call this the second noble truth, that there is a cause of suffering, clinging. I was attached to my thoughts, my way, my things, and now with heightened awareness and a clearing came more calm and clarity. I could see the beauty that surrounded me, more presence. In reality, in the present moment, I was well fed, I was well housed, I was supported, and aware every moment, equanimous every moment, was making more sense. and definitely bringing more joy and less struggle. On day 10, the focus is directed outward, metta. This pure awareness or compassion is shared without effort. You just are. And it's towards all beings, in all realms, and in all forms. To me, this is what the Buddha called the third noble truth, the end of suffering. A sense of nothing to do, no place to go, just be, love. Today, when the unimaginable happens, and it still does, the macro or the micro, I'm learning the art of suffering. Suffering's here. There's a cause of suffering, and suffering ends. And through that process, true peace, true love, true happiness exist. Ram Dass put it this way: re-perceive suffering as a vehicle to awakening. The good news is, curiously, that attending a meditation boot camp is not necessary to touch this freedom. It is present this moment. And I thank you for your generosity by providing this space to practice exploring the present. Thank you.
This is a time for centering. And I'm using the words of John Kabat-Zinn, who said, mindfulness has been called the heart of Buddhist practice. Mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. This kind of attention nurtures greater awareness, clarity, and acceptance of present moment reality. It wakes us up to the fact that our lives unfold only in a moment. If we are not fully present for many of these moments, we may not only miss what is most valuable in our lives, but also fail to realize the richness and the depth of our possibilities for growth and transformation. I'd like to introduce a meditation tool that I often use. Wendy had you taking a deep breath. I'd like you to do that again. Take a deep breath and allow your shoulders to fall. Frequently, our minds are busy and our bodies are tense. So we give our minds something to do that allows our bodies to relax. I suggest you close your eyes and now count your breath, breathing in and out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Count up to 10 and then start over. And if you get distracted, just go back to 1. We'll do this exercise for a few minutes. As John Kabat-Zinn said, mindfulness means paying attention to this present moment. And that is just what we just did. Thank you.
I have never been a particularly spiritual or religious person. Being a part of a community is the reason I have joined UU congregations as I moved around the country for school, work, or a new place to live. In 2012, I took a meditation workshop at First Unitarian Church of Portland, my congregation at the time. Since meditation had become big, I thought I'd give it a try. It was peaceful, not demanding or judgmental. After the workshop ended, a couple of us worked on getting together a group of people to meet weekly. About 8 of us formed an informal covenant group that still meets in person and on Zoom. Through it, I have gained some knowledge of Buddhist tenets from different schools of practice and heard a lot of poems loosely embracing these tenets. When I moved to Ashland and joined RVUUF a little over 2 years ago, I sought out the Sangha housed here. It is more structured than my Portland group, and anyone can drop in. All of you are welcome. The readings adhere more exclusively to Buddhist schools of thought, and there is rarely any poetry. Unlike many practitioners of meditation, I typically only meditate when I attend my covenant group or the Sangha meetings. I always mean to meditate more frequently, but I don't. Years ago, I found a book of guided meditations written by a psychologist who had moved from a university town in North Carolina to New York City. In New York City, he found the need to provide his patients ways to meditate while on the go in a city that demands a lot of energy. Many of the meditations involved ways to meditate while standing in line in the market or sitting on a crowded subway car, etc. I have tried to adapt some of his suggestions to daily life. When I'm sitting in the dentist chair waiting for Novocaine to kick in, for instance, I will meditate to pass the time. Being a part of the Sangha and the Covenant group are another way for me to participate in a community that makes very few demands on me, is non-judgmental, and provides a period of peacefulness. In the current climate, that has become very meaningful. In the spirit of my Portland Meditation Covenant group, I'd like to share a poem by Mary Oliver on meditating, sort of. Meditation, so I've heard, is best accomplished if you entertain a certain strict posture. Frankly, I prefer just to lounge under a tree. So why should I think I could ever be successful? Some days I fall asleep or land in that even better place, half asleep, where the world, spring, summer, autumn, winter, flies through my mind in its hearty ascent and its uncompromising descent. So I just lie like that while distance and time reveal their true attitudes. They never heard of me and never will or ever need to. Of course, I finally wake up thinking how wonderful to be who I am, made of earth and water. My own thoughts, my own fingerprints, all that glorious temporary stuff. Amen, Ashe, blessed be.
Each week, we take an offering to support the mission and the work of our congregation. Your generosity provides the vast majority of this financial support for the programs, services, outreach, and staffing of our congregation. Your giving is immediately put to work, putting our principles into action in our community and beyond. If you are joining us online, you can give in one of several ways. You can mail a check to 87 4th Street, Ashland, 97520. You can go to tinyurl.com/roof offering and follow the instructions there. Or you can text a $sign and the amount you'd like to donate to 541-229-4229. And if you need support, please contact Reverend Sean using the form on roof.org. We will do our best to help. We will now receive the morning offering. For these gifts and all the gifts you bring to our community and into this world, thank you.
Please rise as you're willing and able and open your teal hymnal to number 1031, Filled with Loving Kindness. You probably know this one. I actually use this in my daily meditation myself. To sing it with I, the second time with you, and the third time with we, from the beginning. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness.
Our closing words are a Buddhist prayer. Just as the soft rains fill the streams, pour into the rivers, and join together in the oceans, so may the power of every moment of your goodness flow forth to awaken and heal all beings, those here now, those gone before, and those yet to come. By the power of every moment of your goodness, may your heart's wishes be soon fulfilled as completely shining as the bright full moon, as magically as by a wish-fulfilling dream. By the power of every moment of your goodness, may all dangers be averted and all disease be gone. May no obstacle come across your way. May you enjoy fulfillment and long life. For all in whose heart dwells respect, who follow the wisdom and compassion of the way, may your life prosper in the 4 blessings of old age, beauty, happiness, and strength. Namaste, which means the light in me sees the light in you. We are one.